Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Blondest Podcast. I'm your host, Savanna.
And I'm your co-host, Tyler.
Are we matching the same vibe?
I just wanted to come in with your
And
same energy.
Habibi, we're back from Dubai. It was the best experience I think I've had in my life. And I honestly didn't think I would like Dubai at all.
Yeah, like if you ask anyone in our lives, like anyone at the office, they're like, oh my gosh, are you so excited?
I was like, no.
And I was like, and like, which is so crazy to think about. But I think it's also partially because we have been traveling nonstop for the past 2 months that like the thought of traveling 22 hours for a 4-day trip, I was like, I mean, I could
seriously,
do without.
When was the start of it?
We went to Utah.
And then we went
Directly
we went
to Tampa.
somewhere before Utah. No?
Hawaii, but that was like...
It was Hawaii, and then the next trip after Hawaii was Utah?
I think so. I can't think of another trip in between.
Okay.
So we went to Utah. Then directly from Utah, we went to Tampa. Came back. We were home for 3 days. Then we went to Detroit. Then we were back for like a week. And then we went to LA. And then we were back for a week. And then we went to... So it was just like non-stop travel. And so much of it was like over the days we normally have off. And then we were in office every day in between. So it was just like...
Crazy.
Non-stop.
And it was all work, except Utah was for my birthday, which was fun. I actually did really love that, other than the fact that it's so expensive and the food is shit. Like, so bad. But, okay, so we get to Dubai. And, okay, so I wanted to smuggle, fun fact, just so everyone knows, it's illegal to bring vibrators, CBD, marijuana, cross-dress, PDA.
You can't stay in the same hotel room if you're not married.
Which I hate the trips where Tyler doesn't sleep in my room, honestly, because then like he's less likely to do a skincare regimen with me in the morning. Like, I want to put this bitch to work on work trips, but if he's in the other room, he's like, oh, like my phone's on do not disturb, like didn't see it, already have my sunscreen on. So I like when he's in my room, because then I'm like, no, you have to do it with me.
Well, here's the thing that Savanna loves to do is she loves to make plans the night before. We all agree on something, and then the next morning she's like, oh, I thought you would have known that, like, I actually didn't want to go to breakfast. I didn't want to leave at this time. I wanted to stay for 2 hours and just do our skincare. I send you
telepathic signals in your sleep, and you miss them every time.
Because
I like try to get our brains. I'm like, God, put this into Tyler's brain, and then he'll know.
Because, like, if she tells me, like, we're going to do our skincare in the morning.
You should know me better by now.
No, because, like, we were there for so short. Like, if we're going to do if you want to go to breakfast one morning, I'm going to plan on going to breakfast.
Okay. Fair. But, yeah. So we couldn't stay in the same room, which is fine.
It's okay. I like that.
Did you miss me?
We were together until, like, midnight every night, and then we were up at...
I went to bed every night at 3 a.m. and then I would wake up at 6 a.m. So I'm like still feel like I'm recovering. Like, I felt like I've been in a fever dream all week because we've only been back now for like 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And so, first of all, the time change. And I just never got adjusted. And I was ready to party in Dubai, but Tyler was like so sleepy. But I would have gone out. I was just worried about going out alone. So, but let's start from the beginning. Okay, so we were worried about bringing CBD mist. So I was like, whatever, I'll bring skin recovery mist, even though a lot of my followers were like, I've gone to Dubai so many times and I brought my CBD products and like it's not been an issue.
They were like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah. But you know me, I overthink everything. And I'm like, I would be the bitch that would go to prison in the Middle East. So.
For sure. And I did not want to deal with having to call the U.S. embassy to bust her out.
Yeah. I feel like if I ever get arrested, it's going to be I freed an animal that I wasn't supposed to, like a kept animal that I freed, or something skincare related, like I smuggled skincare somewhere. One of the two. So we get there and we're like ready, like we're a little anxious. We're like, we're about to get questioned. Like Tyler's like, do not say we're here for business. Like they might think that you need like a work visa and then we have to go to like this whole room, like blah, 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 blah. And so I go up first and he's just like really nice to me, the guy. And he's dressed in all of his like traditional stuff, which honestly, you get used to it once you are there longer. But like at first it's like a little intimidating because it's like a man in uniform. but it's like
Emirati.
Yeah. And so they're in this like all of this white, which is honestly so stunning, and they fucking slay. But it's a little like when you get off the plane, and it's your first time in the Middle East, you're like, they look like they could fuck you up if they really wanted to, but they're actually the nicest people I've probably ever met in my entire life. Like, I love Arab people. They are so nice. They're so sweet. Like, I bonded with one of the Emirati guys over perfume in one of the perfume shops, and we were just like kikiing it up. But I'm jumping ahead. So anyways, I go talk to the guy, whatever, and then Tyler goes up. You can tell the story. And it was just such an awkward exchange. Because no one has ever asked me or anyone I've been with, like,
at customs.
Yeah.
When we went to LA, they did ask if we were brother, sister,
something
best
about
friends.
Us together. They're like, are they fucking or are they friends? Like, people always want to know when I'm with my husband, like, nobody asks like what our relation is with one another. But with Tyler, I feel like it's like 50-50. Like, they either think we're besties. No, I think it's like 25, 25, 25, 25. It's like besties, brother and sister, marriage.
And then
there needs to be a fourth, but I can't think of it.
Mortal enemies.
Okay.
That's what we were going to LA.
Well,
or coming home from LA, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
But so yeah, she goes through, literally like took her 2 seconds. And I was like, oh, that was easy. And then I go up and he's looking at my stuff and he's like, oh, are you traveling with anyone? And I was like, that girl that just went through. And he was like, oh, are you friends? And I was like, yeah. He was like, just friends. I was like, yeah.
Like, he
I don't
asked
know, the way
if
he
we
said
were
it,
just friends. Like that's so fucking weird.
He was implying something and I felt really uncomfortable, and mine did not take 2 seconds.
No,
like,
he was he was like, just friends?
I mean, granted, we just had traveled for 22 hours. I was wearing like a hat and a hoodie and I probably looked sketchy.
Yeah, you looked very straight.
So I don't know, but that was like a weird start because I was like, yes,
well, she was like giving me the
promise.
eyes when I was going through, and I was like, okay, I see you. And then Tyler goes up. He's like, who is she? Are y'all friends? Just friends?
I know he's like trying to find what hotel we were staying at so he could come. Maybe he's the one who left the card in your room.
Maybe. And so then we get to the hotel. And it was like a clusterfuck. Okay, I will talk shit about the people that work at the Conrad in Dubai. Y'all are fucking idiots. I don't know how you got the job. You guys honestly like are a disgrace to the entire country. Idiots. Dumb. And I can't. Okay, think about it. It's 3 fucking a.m. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I want to get to my room. And they're like, we don't see you on the reservation. And like this just happened, which was not Skin Better's fault. It was the company they hired to put on the event's fault. In Detroit, we get there and I have like my whole team with me and we all have different rooms, and they didn't have us booked. And there was like a huge football game. And so there were like no rooms. And I'm like, are we just going to be like homeless in downtown Detroit tonight? That's basically what's happening in Dubai. So I'm like, I'm exhausted. Tyler's trying to figure it out. Everyone's asleep. That like is our contact there because it's 3 a.m.
And the worst part is like I had gotten so many confirmations from the company that they had ensured that our rooms were all set to go because we were getting in at 3 a.m. that like no one would be available if we had any issues.
We always have issues.
They had checked in at like they got in at 5 p.m. that night, and I got a text from them saying we reconfirmed with the hotel, all your names are down, you're going to have no issues when you get there. And
we had nothing but issues.
Yeah.
And then while we're standing there, this like really unattractive older man is like right next to me. And then this like not young, like she wasn't like 12, but probably like ripely 19. Definitely ripely 19 with big boobies, big booty, bleach blonde hair, like decked out in Van Cleef and Cartier with this like horrible, ugly man. And I'm like, I want to rescue her. But she got her bag. She had shopping bags. She was like living her best life. And then they go upstairs and I'm like, damn, what a life that is. But good for her, honestly. Like, get your bag. But then finally, after Tyler deals with it for like an hour and I'm just like basically pounding my head against the wall, we get up to the room. I go to sleep. The next morning, I have a massage. So I like didn't sleep. I probably stayed up till 6 a.m. and my massage was at 9. And I still had like sulfur spot treatment all over my forehead. So I looked fucking crusty. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like one thing about Savannah Boda is There's two ends of the spectrum. I'm either like slaying or absolutely decaying.
Yeah.
And then there's no in between. Like I'm either going all out or I'm going to look like fucking shit. And so I go down in my robe, and of course, like I get in the elevator and there's just like a fuck ton of people and everyone's like all dressed like to the nines. And I'm literally, my hair is like a rat's nest and I have sulfur dried on my forehead. And I'm like, this is humiliating. So I go in to get my massage and the lady was so sweet. But you guys, I was petted for 90 minutes. She did not even rub me. She was just caressing me the whole time. And she rubbed my titties, which I've never, well, one other time at a Thai massage place, I had my titties rubbed. And it felt great.
I was about to say, was it nice?
It was really nice, actually. But it was just very like, I don't know. Anyway, and so then she's like, you're so dry like an alligator. And I was like, oh, haha, yeah. Because I don't know. I don't like people knowing I'm an esthetician when they don't know who I am. Like I like to be incognito. One time when I was, it's gonna make me sound like a pathological liar, but it's fine. I'm sure someone else has done this and maybe you have, but like she asked me what I did. And like at the time I wasn't like very successful in doing aesthetics. And like, I didn't want to talk about skincare because it's like kind of the same vein, you know, like hair, lashes, nails, skin, massage is kind of like all like, we're all kind of in like the same community. And I just didn't want to talk about it. So I told her I was a neurosurgeon.
Oh, no, I've done stuff like that. Like with Uber drivers.
And then every time she'd ask me about all these cases. So she gave the best massages ever, but I had to stop going to her because I was like, I can't keep up with like this elaborate lie. Like every time she's asking me like how my surgeries are going and like my most difficult cases. And I'm like, I know nothing.
You're like going home and watching Grey's Anatomy to like get a case from them to come and retell the episode.
And then as soon as I said it, like I was like, why the fuck did I say that? I'm like, why did I say that? Like for what reason? And then I was like, well, just go with it. And it just turned into me never seeing her again because I was just couldn't do it. So anyways, I didn't lie to this lady. I just was like, didn't tell her what I did for a living. And
but she was saying your face was dry.
So dry, like an alligator. It was sulfur. And I just didn't want to say anything. And then I was like, she'll drop it. And she's like, you really need to come for a facial. She's like, you're so beautiful, but so dry like an alligator. And she just kept comparing me to a fucking alligator. And I'm like, okay, got it. And then I get to the front to like pay for my massage. And first of all, I was very stressed at first because it said $800, but it was only $190. But it was because it was in dirhams, which is like their currency in the UAE. And so I was like, what the fuck? I did not just pay $800 to get petted and roasted. Yeah. But, you know, honestly, the titty rub was good. So then she's like, look at me, like I'm 62 years old. And she actually looked so fucking bomb. And she was like, you need to try all this skincare. She's like, please come back for a facial. Like you really need it. Like it's going to help you so much. Like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, got it. Awesome. And she's like, you need this lotion. She's showing me all this stuff. And like, I don't have the heart to be like, listen, babe, like I'm a big deal in the States. I'm like the esthetician. I don't need your help.
I know what good skincare is.
I know what good skincare is. So I'm just letting her give me her spiel. And, you know, I'm really proud of myself because I didn't buy anything. In typical Savanna, I would have bought everything because I feel bad saying no to people, which we'll get into. And so then I go upstairs and Tyler and I just like, I quickly get ready. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what I look like right now. Like, let's just go adventure. And we go to the Dubai Mall, and I realized I hadn't ate a single morsel in 48 hours because we like lost an entire day, and I hate airplane food, and like I don't want to poop or pee on a plane. So I basically deprive my body of every liquid or substance when I travel, which is like not great. But I was like, I'm not going to poop on this plane. Like it's not going to happen. I'm not going to pee on this plane. And I didn't. I did not poop or pee on a plane.
Or in an airport.
Not once. And so I was like, you know, that's just how it's going to be. And so I didn't eat anything. So we're walking in the airport and I get lightheaded and I almost pass out. And I'm
like grabbing the wall next to her. Like we had to go off into a side hallway and she almost collapsed.
Yes.
It's like, we need to eat.
I was like, I have to eat. And then, you know, when you get to a point where you're like in starvation mode, where you like can't eat because you feel so nauseous and like smelling or thinking about food makes you like even more sick. So I was like having this whole battle of like, I like know I need to put something in my body or I'm going to like probably have a heart attack, panic attack, die. And then also like if I eat, I might throw up. And so I like picked at some stuff and drank some Sprite and, you know, got myself to a better place.
She did.
And then we went and smelled a fuck ton of perfumes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This was like...
There's a whole... Okay, the Dubai Mall is huge. There's an entire floor just of perfume.
Yeah, like a million shops.
And it was so much fun.
Yeah, that's like Savannah's favorite thing to do. And it, like, because we went when we were in LA to Lucky Scent, the scent bar, is that what it's called? And
Which
that's
I'm wearing one today. It's called Messy Sexy, just rolled out of bed. And I really wanted to gatekeep this, and I will not post it on my Instagram stories. So just the besties that listen to the podcast get to know. It
smells really fucking
is so
good.
fucking sexy. It is the sexiest perfume I've ever worn. I love it.
But like this was like that store because it's basically a bunch of different brands all in one store. And this was a bunch of different brands, but their own stores. And then there was some like that had different, I don't know. There was a million stores of perfumes. You could literally smell all day long and still have new fragrances to smell. And then even like, I thought everything we saw was it. And then like the second time we go, like you go back behind this little hallway and then there's more perfume stores. And I was like, God damn.
But honestly, guys, I'm so proud of me because I really didn't shop that bad this trip.
No, I mean, did we have to buy another suitcase? Yes, but it's because she got a lot of perfumes for gifts for family and the boxes were so big.
Yeah, they're huge boxes. Like everything is like a display, like everything. Like I love Dubai.
No, the Dubai Mall was insane. I think there's like 1,800 stores or something like that. And like you can run a marathon in this mall.
And guys, I honestly want to move to Dubai. They have 0 income tax and like sales tax is 4%.
Crazy. I think it's 5.
5?
Maybe 4. I don't know.
Crazy.
Know. Either way.
Like insane. Like I was talking to a guy and he was telling me that you can have 4 wives if you're like fair with all of them. So like if you buy one of them a Van Cleef bracelet, you have to buy all 4 of them a Van Cleef bracelet.
Or if you buy a house.
Yeah, you have to buy 4 houses.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys that have 4 wives. And honestly, I feel like that's the life I want to live.
No, he literally said, you can have as many wives as you can afford.
Yeah.
That's the only role they have. And then
in another life, I would have done it.
She was like, how many wives do you have? And he was like, I can only afford one. That's what he said.
I would love that, to not be annoyed 24/7. Love you, Lance. But if I could just like be like, no.
No, I think that's...
I would love it.
On that. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? I would be okay. Sharing is caring. I love it. Anyway, like slay for them, honestly.
It's just very different.
I think I would want to be the wife that has 5 husbands.
Okay.
Because I'd have a handyman.
It can't work like that.
But in my own country, if I had like the United States of Savannah, the USS.
United Savannah Emirates.
I would have one man that was really good at cooking. Okay.
Okay.
I would have one that was like handyman, could fix anything, fix my car, build me whatever the fuck I wanted. Okay. I'd have one that's like very like an inspirational speaker, emotionally supportive, amazing at that. Okay. Then my 4th one. I'd want him to be rich too. That one. That one. So I could like switch the power dynamic. And then my 5th one, maybe like a doctor. So I could like a dermatologist. And that would be my family life. But I would only have one kid. They could all split.
So chaotic. That sounds horrible.
And then what happened then? Where are we at? Oh, so we went to the Dubai Mall.
And then we went to the souk.
Oh my God. And I got haggled there. I got scarfed. It's our new term. Gosh. Anytime someone haggles you, anytime someone bamboozles you.
There was no haggling.
There was haggling.
There was 0 haggling.
There was so much haggling.
0. They gave you a price and you said, here's my card.
That's haggling.
That's not haggling. That's scamming.
Okay, well, they scarfed me.
Yeah.
So I went and got this really pretty gold bracelet and I love it. And I got one for my mom too. And they were honest and nice men. Yeah. And honestly, intuition's everything. Your body knows. I'm walking through, there's like thousands of gold shops and like all of them are pretty. All of them look really cool. And I was like, I'm just going to like go with where my heart tells me to go. And I ended up going to a really good one. And then after that, we were walking and looking at all of these spices. And honestly, okay, so I didn't know this before I went, but Dubai is actually very safe. It's like the safest place. Like locals say you could like leave a Birkin bag in the middle of the street and it would be there in the morning. I don't know how true that is, but it is very safe. Like I never felt unsafe the entire time I was there. And like, I feel like I could have gone by myself and been fine. Except there was one restaurant I went to where I did not feel as safe.
The Americanized one? The one that was not giving.
Yeah, the one that we went to with Candace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got hit on like 17 times in 3 minutes.
That looked like a place you would get like date raped.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a record.
Well, okay,
though.
it was okay. We'll get there in the story because that's
I think that's a record
story.
for me.
Yeah, well, I wasn't with her when that happened. So.
I know. I never get hit on.
Normally,
with Tyler.
I'm the cockblock.
He is, but it's all good because I'm married. But
no, yeah, it's a good thing.
But if I was single, we'd have to like yassify you a little bit more.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So where are we?
We are
the souk.
Souk, yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at like all these spices. Like I'm being just like I'm living out my little tourist dream. Okay, I'm like sniffing and smelling and seeing, and
they have it set up so beautifully outside of these shops. Like it's like the colors.
It's aesthetic as fuck.
It really
and
is.
It smells so good. Like it smelled amazing there. And that's one of the questions I got. If it was like stinky in Dubai, it actually smelled amazing. It smelled like spices and amazing perfume. Everyone smells so fucking good there. It's crazy. So anyway, then what happened first?
No, so we were looking outside.
I need to get Lance to cook with that curry that I brought home.
Get him to cook with the curry.
I just was thinking. I forgot I got that.
So we were looking at this very pretty display of spices, and then this guy comes up to Savanna and is like, I have a shop.
My shop.
I have a shop. And I'm still looking at the spices, and I turn around, and she's like halfway down the street with this man, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so I like, by time I catch up to them, they are in the shop, and they are wrapping her with like one of those head wraps. And I was like, I looked away for 10 seconds, and this girl is halfway across the street in another shop getting her head wrapped. And so, like, you know, he's talking about cashmere. These are made with cashmere from India. It's like the finest cashmere, like saying all this stuff, wrapping her head. And she's like, hee. And then what? And then he's like, oh, you need one too, to me. And I'm like, oh, no, thank you.
And I was like yes.
Okay. And Savannah's like, yes, he needs one too.
I'm like, if I'm getting scarfed, you're getting scarfed too, bitch.
Well, really, you just scammed yourself out of more money. I was trying to say no.
You know what, Tyler? Here's the thing, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't like conflict. I try to live my life as peaceful as fucking possible. I really don't like drama. Like, I'm not going to insert myself in situations that I don't need to be in. Like, the only time I'll tussle with a bitch is if they tussle with me first. Or
they talk about Cyrus.
Or they talk about my fucking family. Like, I'll rip your heart out and eat it. But
she also, like, she loves people who are very passionate about
and hard workers. He was so fucking passionate about his shop, and he was very compelling. He was using very big words, and he was just, like, really, like, working hard. Like, he was just very enthusiastic. Like, he wanted to make that sale. Like, and I'm so used to like going into like stores here in America, and they're like, they don't give a fuck if you buy something or not. They like are on their phone. They don't care. This man cared so much. And I was like, you know what? He's just trying to hustle for his family. And like, I fucking get it. Like, there was a time in a day where like, now my clients respect and know my opinion. I don't have to like work to get the sale. Like, they already trust me, and I'm just doing my job. But back then, like, I had to like really convince people like that they need a retinol or need a vitamin C, and like,
and that this one's different.
Pulled my heartstrings, okay? Yeah. That this man was really trying to sell it. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, it's probably $35. Like, I know these are worth like $5. It's probably like marked up to $35, like whatever. So then I'm like, okay, obviously I'm not going to wear these like walking around the street, because that's definitely cultural appropriation and like just awkward and weird, because no one wears that. The only time we did wear our heads wrapped was like when we were at the desert, because you like need to, and it's like a vibe, and like everyone's doing it, and it's part of the culture, and it's like okay.
And it's like
PC. Yeah, it's dusty, and it's like it
serves a purpose.
It serves a purpose. Yeah. And like they want you to do it. Like everyone's doing it. But like just like walking around like the streets of Dubai,
it felt off.
It just was it drew so much attention to us. Okay. Yeah. So we wore it for like 3 seconds, and then I was like, take this shit off me. We look like idiots. Like, we look like fucking white tourists. Like, yeah, so embarrassing. But anyway, so I go up, and he's like $350, and I'm like, okay,
No, actually, I don't think that's what happened. I think you were still confused on the conversion rate. And so he like typed out the price in dirhams on a calculator, showed you, and you were like, okay. And then you paid for it. And then
I
didn't
the charge
find out
on my
until,
card. Yeah.
after. And I was like
that.
no.
And I looked at Tyler. I was like, that was $355.
I was like, no fucking way. Because like, and the whole time they couldn't get her card to work. And they were running to like 6 different shops to get one that worked with Amex.
Fun fact, you need a Visa or a MasterCard.
In like the souk.
Yeah, the souk. But like in the mall, you're fine with an Amex. But yeah. And so
the whole time they were looking for a card machine, I was like, this is our opportunity. Like, say we're late to dinner. Say we're like, we can go. And
like,
Savannah's like, no, I feel bad. No, I feel bad.
Well, because I was worried. Like, they wrapped it around my head. Like, what if I had lice? Like, what if I got sunscreen on it? Like, what if?
Well, you didn't ask them to put it on your head.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
But I didn't say no.
I did, and they still put it on my head. So.
Well, I didn't explicitly say, like, no, don't. It was just my eyes of danger. There's a video and you can just see my eyes. I'm like so uncomfortable. So that happens. And then we're walking and I see another spice place and there's this little boy. And of course, kids love kids. He wasn't little. He was like probably 13 and he was hustling for his dad. Mm-hmm. And so he's like showing me all these things. I'm smelling all of these spices, all these teas. Like I'm having like a whole aromatic experience. And then all of a sudden he's like, close your eyes. I'm like, okay. Why not? And so I close my eyes and he lights something on fire, puts it under my nose, and I almost fall back. Like it literally, I thought I had just done meth, guys. Like honestly, like it was a whole experience, but it was just like this, it's called crystal menthol, not crystal meth, crystal menthol.
And it looks like
chopped up meth.
Yeah.
It's literally like white rock.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. That was fun, but it cleared my sinuses. He said it's so good for like sinuses. It's good for like productivity, like wakes you up, like really invigorates your mind and soul and body. And
it's like Vicks Vapor Rub
times 3,000. I've never, ever since, I have never smelled better.
You were smelling colors.
I was smelling colors.
Yeah.
I was seeing colors. It was crazy, but just imagine being on the streets in a foreign country and someone being like, close your eyes. And you're like, oh, they're going to like put flour or something yummy like up against your nose. And he's like, now take a deep breath. And you just literally inhale mint smoke, smoky mint.
Yeah. And I'm such a like sketched out person that I'm not smelling anything. I'm not drinking anything.
He's the worst. Like I was trying to get him to try my Bloody Mary on the flight. Won't try it. And then,
well, I just fucking hate tomato juice.
Okay. And then I try to get him to like get Hylenex just for fun so he can feel it. Won't do it.
Yeah, I love how you're making me out to be a bad guy because I don't want dissolver when I don't have anything in my face to dissolve.
And it burns and I want you to feel it.
I don't.
I'll pay for it. Fuck.
If you're going to pay for Hylenex, you should pay for filler too.
Okay, deal.
We'll do the Hylenex first, then the filler.
Yeah, I wonder if it still burns if you don't have any filler there to dissolve though.
Does it only dissolve filler or do you think it dissolves fat? No, if it dissolves fat,
it does
everyone
not dissolve fat, freak.
Yeah. No, I wished it would.
No, that's like Kybella. Stomach acid is what's in Kybella. Does not work.
No, you did it like 17 times.
And still had to get neck lipo. Yeah, you just look like a bullfrog for 3 months.
And then you go back to what you were before.
And I think that's what it is, that you think you're like have a smaller neck because they're like, look, we're going to make you look fat as fuck for 3 months and then your swelling will go down. Okay, so then that happens, and then he's like, come into my shop, and Tyler's like, fuck Savanna, don't go into the shop. And before you know it, my bitch ass is in the shop, and this man is showing us all of his like seasoning, and honestly, I'm glad we went into this one. Like, they have such good saffron there, but it's so expensive. It's like $300 for like a gram.
I mean, saffron is the most expensive spice in the world, so like that, it wasn't that crazy to me.
Yeah.
But like the other things that they had were definitely like way more expensive than they should have been.
Yeah.
But that's what we later found out when we were talking to someone from there. He was like, those scarves you bought for $350 should be like $15. Like if the man that we were talking to who lived there walked in.
Yeah, they would have given it to him for 15.
Yeah.
But I just say dummy idiot, blonde tourist. Well, actually my hair was really brown when I went.
It was.
Yeah. What do we think, guys? I'm having an identity crisis. I fucking hate it. I'm meant to be blonde. And you know what? I'm so glad I tried it out. And I'm so... Why are we looking at me? I'm just glad I did it. And it's lighter now because I've done like a clarifying shampoo.
Yeah.
But she was like fucking brown. I've gone through like 5 hair colors this month. If that tells you how my mental health is. And so then what happened after that? Oh, I got all this like curry. I got some chai tea. And again, this guy was very compelling. And like, you know, he put the time and effort. He took 45 minutes explaining every single spice that he had in his spice shop. And so I was like, I'm not going to leave empty handed. And so I ended up paying $150 for seasoning. Yes.
And then he
oh my God, this is my favorite story.
When she was checking out, he like pulled me aside and was like showing me this this special tea blend, and he was like saying like all this stuff about it, and then he was like, yeah, it increases blood flow, it'll make your
penis taller than the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah, like stand up taller than the Burj Khalifa. Happy wife, happy life. And I was like, no, thank you. He was like, you sure? I was like, yeah.
You should have got it.
No, I don't like tea.
And
I don't need Viagra form of tea. Like, I'm okay.
You're like, I'm 25.
Yeah, I'm literally 25 years old. Like, why does he acting like I'm 72?
I just love it'll make your penis taller than the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah,
like that eats. And I love analogies. I respect an analogy. And if I had heard it, I would have bought it.
Well, no, I'm okay.
Anyway.
So that was very ridiculous. I will say as a whole, I did not enjoy the souk. I'm not someone, some people love that shit. They love going to haggle. I love going to a store. The prices are set. I know what I'm expecting. The people are going to not try to sell me on, like, I don't know.
I loved it.
Markets like that stress me out. And
I had a good time.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Like, no one would be that passionate in a mall.
No, they wouldn't. I respected the hustle. I respected.
So did I.
They were just eyes wide, bushy-tailed, like ready. Like they were cracked out. And I appreciated it a lot. I was like, I would hire these motherfuckers to come work for SBA. Honestly, great salesman.
And then
went back to the hotel, and then we met with the distributors for Factor 5, and they basically told me how I got scammed everywhere except for my gold bracelet, and they were like really impressed because this was 15 grams of gold?
I don't know.
It was like 15 grams of gold, I think. It's so pretty. I love it, and I got one for my mommy. But anyway, so that.
Did you give it to her?
No, it's for Christmas.
Oh, okay. Smart.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see if she pisses me off between now and then. Just kidding. So then that happened. And then we're just like chit-chatting and talking to them. And then, you know, I'm just like very gullible and I believe everybody. I believe the best in people. And that's why I always get hurt, which I've been better lately. Like, I think maybe.
Your guard is more up now.
Yeah, definitely. Like as of like the past 3 weeks, my guard has really been up. So we'll see how that goes. But I just hate being jaded. Like one of my favorite things is that I see the world with a childlike view. And I feel like, I don't know, I don't like being a skeptic or cynical. And like some days you might get scarfed. Some days, you know, you might have an employee take advantage of you. But most of the time, like you open your heart to new experiences and people, you know?
It rewards you.
Yeah. So I like to be like that. And I just trust people because I would never do that shit to someone. So I'm like, why would they lie? Why would they be a bad person? But people just are awful. Bad people.
Yep, we're talking, they tell us that we're getting scammed, and then we start talking about camels.
This is my favorite story. And this guy, Maj, is like, they have a camel beauty contest and they do Botox and filler on these camels. And like John, the owner of Factor 5, and Tyler, and a couple other people, the scientists and stuff, are like, no, like, you're lying. Like, you're lying. And I'm like, no, he's for sure. Like, why would he lie? I love Maj. I just met him, but I love this man. Why would he lie to me? And so he starts telling us that you can win $11 million if your camel wins the camel pageant. So I was like, I believe it. And so they put lip filler in the camels. They use a little bit of Botox in the camels, and they use like kind of like an epidural sized syringe needle. And yeah, it's real. I Googled it, and then everyone didn't believe him, but I believed him, and he was right. He wasn't lying.
I was literally looking at him and I was like, you're fucking with me right now. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Because like the concept to me of like putting lip filler and doing Botox on a camel is so outside. But then, yeah, I mean, if you can win $11 million by beautifying a camel a little bit, why
and
would
people
you
may
not?
say it's animal abuse, and you know what? Those camels are treated better than most Americans. So.
Yeah, he was saying they get like flown to France to
live out their
like,
days.
Like and
beauty
like get like
treatments.
special beauty treatments and massages and all this stuff. And I was like,
those
damn,
camels
I
are
need to be
living
a camel.
I want to come back as a fucking camel. Yeah. So then that happened, and then we went to bed. We woke up the next day. Was at the show.
Mm-hmm.
The show was really cool. They do it bigger in Dubai. It was awesome. I mean, all of the like little
Booths
were like very cool, and it was awesome. And I had some Dubai fans, which was pretty crazy. I didn't think that people would really like know me there, but
you know, people are like, I came to this just to see you. Like, I can't believe you're here. And it was like, whoa. But no, the booths were fucking insane. Like, they put money into this shit in Dubai.
Yeah,
like,
it makes the US shows look like podunk.
No, yeah, it looks like
ghetto. That's
like
ghetto.
the US shows looks like they took like 4 sticks and a tarp and like built a booth.
Yeah.
And I've been to a lot where they look great, but Dubai was on another level. Like they had like 3D.
Someone playing the piano.
Yeah, at one of the booths, like full performance. The Lotus, which is the distributor for Factor 5 in Dubai, had like this 3D projection thing. So it was like super crazy. It looked like they were coming out of the screen with the box of Factor 5. It was definitely an experience. Savannah gave her
my little speech
and demonstration.
Yes.
She performed her technique to the best of her ability.
Yeah, it was hard. They talk very fast. I will say that, and very hard to give direction. And so he was like, "You're gonna go here, do this, and then this, and then da 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 da," and I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, I was so confused. There's a picture of me. It is the funniest fucking picture I think I've ever seen. It's like 2 professional photos, and I've never looked more confused in my entire life. Like, I literally look like someone just told me the earth was flat.
And it's so funny because like in the photos, you can tell it's like
seconds.
You can tell it's like the foreign distributor on her right side, and then John, the American CEO, like here, the founder of the company, and you can see her like looking between John and like, the guy. Like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, but it taught me and everyone there that Savanna motherfucking Boda can perform without any direction, because I had no fucking clue. Like, there was no PowerPoint. I didn't know how many people were going to be on stage with me. I didn't know what treatment I was performing. They had my model numbed, which she shouldn't have been numbed. It was just like so many like random little things. But yeah, so then that happened. And then what happened after that?
Then we went
home. Oh, wait, we went to dinner with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to dinner that
was
night.
our first time doing shisha.
Yeah.
Shisha.
Smoking shisha.
Shisha.
I love shisha. I'd smoke that every day. It was fun.
It was. And it was so cool because I think a lot of the times when someone from the States goes to Dubai, like there are so many like really nice
like
touristy restaurants. Yeah, like super nice, gorgeous restaurants that are slay, amazing pictures, like very, American. I don't want to say Americanized, but y'all know the vibe I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool because with these foreign distributors, like they were bringing us to the really good, like local, real culture, like where the people of Dubai would go to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really cool. They had, what was the juice? It was like a watermelon juice or like
pomegranate.
Something. Pomegranate is so good.
And then I drank so much Moroccan tea, guys. I think I had like 4 to 5 different glasses.
Yeah, they were small.
They were small, but I drank so much and I was like wired. And so then I didn't like sleep out all that night. And then the next day, what was the next day? Was that the second day of the trade show?
We went for a little bit to the trade show. There wasn't, her obligation was the one talk on Friday. Mm-hmm. So on Saturday we went, said hi, we went in. And then, we didn't have a strict itinerary going into it, which stressed us out a little bit, but that's just how they roll over there.
Yeah, we learned the plan is no plan. The plan is just to be on call like a doctor or a flight attendant or like a private jet flyer pilot.
Which, is
not how I like life.
Not ideal.
No,
and
I hate
especially like when we obviously we're going to Dubai, like there's so many things to do. So we just kind of had to figure
I want
out.
to know when I need to be like the Dallas esthetician and then when I can be like Savanna the tourist.
The adventurer.
Yeah. So we go to the desert and it was so much fun. We start doing, what's it called? Sand bugging?
Well, we need to back up a little bit because.
What am I missing?
This one was the sleigh. This was day one. So the first stop was the camels.
Our private one was a little,
the camels, we were
so sad, you guys.
Know.
The camels were so sad. I felt so bad. It was so bad. I was like petting them and cuddling them, and I really like bonded with a little skinny white one.
Yeah, and so we were just, I mean, like,
I don't want to talk about this. It makes me so sad. I don't even want to bring it up. It was just sad. And like, I was interrogating the guy, and I was like, are these camels happy? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't think you're telling the truth. I don't think they're happy.
I won't go too much into the sad part about them and how sad they looked, but when you go to Dubai and you see so many pictures of people, they're riding camels like in the middle of the desert, and we pull up like literally this farm, and it's like a pin for these camels, and you just ride in a circle. It was like a kiddie, like a petting zoo. That's what it was for these camels. And so it was just very not what we were
it was gonna be.
Expecting.
It was going to be like a trail ride.
Yeah.
With you do with like horses, but camel style.
And so then we went and drove to this place to go dune buggying, and Savanna.
What's the car thing? What's the car thing called?
Oh, the dune bashing.
Yes, and that
was 10 out of 10.
I think it fixed my herniated disc, honestly, because it has not been in pain since that moment. And I wasn't thinking about it. And then I was like, oh, fuck, like I'm getting like thrown around in this car going, like, I'm telling you guys, I have video, but it does not show how, like, I'm telling you, like, mountains that are full of sand and they're going up and around. Like, I was like, we're gonna flip and die. And fun fact, they go to school, was it a month? Mm-hmm. 1 month. They go to school for 1 month to be able to do it.
Like, you can't just
and
go
be a driver.
And do that. Yeah.
It was so fucking fun. And then we get to where we're doing our ATV, and I'm getting my head wrapped again, and I hear this meow. And if you know me, I'm basically Snow White. Cats just come to me. And so all these cats start surrounding me. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't have any food. Like, I have pistachios, but they probably don't want pistachios. And then I was like, wait, we have Tyler's backpack. And I always sneakily hide a couple chomps in there.
She does.
I always have chomps in his backpack. And so then I go in his backpack, and I'm like, oh, my God, there's chomps. Like, I am mother of cats. And so I start, like, biting off, like, little pieces for them, because it's hard to rip a chomp. So you really need your teeth, by the way. And so I'm biting a piece off and, putting it on the ground for them. And like, they're like smaller sized kittens because they were starving. They're not large. And so they have small little mouths, and they're having a really hard time eating it. And these motherfuckers were pissing me off because they're like basically trying to rush me to get into this ATV. And granted, the sun was setting and it was time to go, but I don't give a fuck. Okay.
You're like, I paid for this. So
like, I'm going to do what I want to do.
If I want to spend 45 minutes feeding these cats, like
that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so they're like, they don't like it. They don't like it. And I'm like, yes, they do. Did they tell you they don't like it? No, I don't think so. And so then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to like baby bird it and like chew it up a couple times and soften it for them. And they went crazy for that. That was a hit. It was a hit. And so then I started like picking up the ones that I'd already bit off that weren't chewed up.
On the ground.
Okay, Tyler. Anyway, they were on the ground. Okay, yes. And I was picking up ones off the ground and chewing them up and giving them to the cats. And they thought I was like this fucking crazy American woman. And I am. And I
cares
am.
About animals.
Yeah. And I'd do it again. And so I feed them approximately 3 chomp sticks. And they loved it. If you guys saw the video, it's so fucking funny. And so I feed them all these chomps. And then we get on the ATV, which was lame. and
Yeah, they
boring.
literally went like, I could have gone faster in one of those like children's electric Jeep things that you buy them.
Like the one Cyrus has.
Yeah, I swear to God, I would go faster in that than. And he was like, it's because it's nighttime. You can't go fast at night. I'm like, I can see. Like, there are giant headlights on here. I'm not afraid.
And then they had gazelles, and they said the Prince of Dubai owns the gazelles, and if you like touch them, he'll like behead you.
Yeah, and then we went sandboarding that night, but literally it was so anticlimactic. Like
it was so slow.
It was like, and we could not make it go faster. Like it was
so
like
slow.
It was just like,
and I thought it was badass until the second day, and then I was like, oh, you guys, fun fucking fact. Not only am I a cat whisperer, I'm really fucking good at sandboarding. Who would have thunk it?
mm-hmm.
Like, who would have thunk it?
And
like,
so,
that is a secret hidden talent. I thought I was going to, like, eat shit. And I don't know, maybe I was a sandboarder in my past life.
Mm-hmm. And then
we go to bed. Oh, wait,
that night
we have our little date. We had our little date. We constantly keep booking private dinners, and they end up being so romantic, and it's just
this one was less romantic.
Two best friends in a hot tub sitting close together, but they're not gay.
But they are. But or one is. But
and it's so romantic. It's so pretty. You can see the moon, and like they're playing like all of this like Arabic traditional music, and then all of a sudden like the vibes change, and they're playing like some like weird American like covers.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny. And we're smoking shisha, and this moon is shining. And then we go back to the hotel, and then we get kind of ready. I was like covered in dust. And then we go eat with Candace. And we had like 3 drinks. Okay, so first of all, we thought it was like alcohol was outlawed in Dubai, because that's kind of what they told us, that you really can't get it at certain places unless you're in a Western hotel. I don't know. A lot of people DM'd me and were like, that's not true. And I don't know. We were
even the locals were telling us that.
I don't know. That's just what I heard. And so anyways, we have 3 drinks with Candace. We eat a little bit of food. It was good. We ordered this like dessert platter. We could talk some tea. You know. Then
halfway, or like we literally had eaten like 40% of this dessert thing platter. And
oh my God, I forgot about this.
This random man comes up and is like, oh my gosh, can I take a picture
you guys,
of this?
It's like melted.
It's like, it looks disgusting.
Like it's been sitting there for like 30 minutes untouched.
I hope you're watching the video, because like for the next 4 minutes, he's sitting there like just taking, like, and we're sitting there looking like, we thought he was just gonna like grab a quick pic.
It's something about being with Candace that men just come to our table.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I really don't know what it is. And so then we're like, okay, we have to pee. And I go down and I'm like walking through. What?
Wait. First of all, we felt like we were loitering at this place, because like it is a ghost town. They closed at like midnight or something like that. And so we thought like no one else was. We were on the 2nd story of this restaurant. No one was there. It was silent. And so we felt like, oh my gosh, we're like really loitering here. Like we should probably go. Mm-hmm. Now continue.
So I'm like, Candace has to pee so bad. I have to pee so bad. It's like empty. We go downstairs. It's a fucking club, okay? It's like sardines back to back. So many people like dancing, and like they have this guy on the drums, and like it's like fucking lit, okay? So Candace and I are like, God damn it. How are we going to get to this bathroom? So, you know, we do the little hook our arms together, and we start making our way through this crowd. And this first guy is like, what are you doing here so fine all alone? And then this other guy was like, I haven't seen someone as pretty as you in this place in a long time. And then another guy's like, what are you doing tonight? And then another one, I mean, it's just like, I literally got hit on 17 times in 3 minutes. And honestly, if my self-esteem is ever bad, I will go back there and just take the walk through to the bathroom, and I would feel better about myself. So then we go to the bathroom, and then we go out and we go home. And then the next morning we go to brunch in the Burj Khalifa, which was so pretty, so beautiful. And like, this is when Tyler and I started getting like really fucking sad, and we're like, we're leaving tomorrow, like fuck our lives. Like,
because Candace had just gotten there. Like she hopped off the flight and went to dinner with us. Mm-hmm. And so
we were missing her.
Yeah. We were like,
she's there for a different work thing, which is just so random that we were there at the same time. But I love Candace. She's like just such a genuine,
salt
sweet
of the earth
person, and she's an inspiration to all of us. I mean, she's just a bad bitch. And so then we go with Factor 5 team to do a second thing.
Desert tour.
Yes. And we do
safari.
everything again, but 10 times better.
Yeah. So like we literally did the exact same itinerary. This one wasn't private, which honestly was cool.
Yeah.
I think the non-private one is fun to do in a big group because we had like our own table. You know what I mean? But if we had just done it with just the two of us.
Yeah.
But it was like every experience, the dune bugging, the sandboarding,
Except
the camels. No, the camels were better too.
It was like a 2-second thing, but yeah.
But like it
They were
didn't
happy
feel as
camels.
they were happy camels.
They were happy
So
camels.
like everything was like 400 times better. Like we went probably like 40 miles, 50 miles per hour on these dune buggies. Like I was
was
gassing
so
it.
fun.
And the guy was getting mad because like I would put like 200 feet between me and them because you're supposed to stay in a line and stay close
I had
together.
so much dust on me, guys. Like I had literal dust in my vagina, and I wore a skirt, which was not smart. I probably still have sand in my puss.
But you looked slay.
I did.
And Savanna was the best sandboarder there.
Out of all these men,
Yeah, I tried to do it. Savannah went like 4 times.
I loved it.
And I
they
did it the
all
first
were so
time.
impressed with me.
I did it the first time. I ate shit. I fell forward. My shirt went up. The sand hurt me. And I was like, I'm done. That was like me. Like when I was a kid, my parents tried to sign me up for karate. I got hit in the face one time. And I was like, no, fuck this. I'm never doing it again.
I love
Doing it again.
sandboarding. And then I like taught John, the CEO of Factor 5, how to sandboard. I was like, engage your core, straighten your front leg. And he like finally got it because he was like, we're not leaving till I can get like one good run. And so I felt pretty cool.
Yeah, he does like
And
jujitsu.
then they were all, well, the thing is, and the thing that I hate is like everyone sees me and they think I'm like this like bougie,
prissy
little
girl
bitch, you
who,
know?
Like, when it can't get
like
down
I'm
and
like
dirty.
this influencer, like, you know, like slay, dressed to the nines. But like there is a different side of me that also is a down bitch. And so, you know,
You lived in the wilderness.
I lived in the wilderness.
Your
They
mom-
were shooketh
Your
by
mom
that
is
story.
a ranch girly.
My mom, honestly, is probably why I'm so cool. She grew up riding motorcycles, dirt bikes. Like, I am a down bitch. And one thing about me is, like, I like to have a good time. I'm going to try everything and do everything I can. And so I think everyone just, that's why it was so cool, is because nobody expected me to be the one to be awesome at this.
Because everyone fell.
Everyone fell.
Besides Savannah.
Yes.
Savannah was like the only one.
And then I
who-
told them the whole lore of wilderness. And he was
Yeah.
like, I gained so much respect for you. Like, you're actually cool. His
And
words, not
then-
mine. And then we just packed up. And then I didn't have a going home outfit because somehow that didn't get packed. And then Tyler had to go to Zara because I'm like showered, naked, not fucking getting up. Tyler is like, fine. He has to go get me a new suitcase. I
Luckily-
like my suitcase. Have you seen that?
Yes. Luckily, every store in Dubai, it does not matter what it is, Hermes, Van Cleef, Zara, anything, it closes at midnight, which
Yeah.
is so awesome.
And weird.
The amount of times I've like needed an outfit late at night and it's like, oh, they close
How
at
many
6
times
p.m.
do you need an outfit late at night?
Sometimes, you know?
Okay.
Because like, you know, like if your flight leaves the next morning at
Or maybe,
7
like,
a.m.
Oh, you don't
And
do
you're
the Savannah Boda method where I just slowly buy things 6 months
No,
ahead of
no,
time.
I'm like packing for a trip the night before and I'm like, shit, I need
Yeah,
like this color
well,
pants.
Makes sense.
If you live in Dubai, you're fine. You can go to the mall. They don't close for another 2 hours at 10 p.m.
That's true.
So I go there, I get the sets, and then we figure out we need another suitcase because I could have fit everything, but I'm telling you, I probably would have broke her suitcases if like one little fall would have snapped open. Like
Yeah.
she heard me. She was in the bathroom getting unready, and I'm sitting there heaving
I'm
from
like, are
trying to
you
cool
good?
because
I've
I'm like,
never heard such heavy breathing. Like, it literally sounded like you were doing weightlifting.
because I was like body slamming the suitcase, like laying on it, pushing down. It was a
it was
struggle.
a whole thing.
And so we were like, we just need to get another suitcase. So I
Yeah.
went, and the guy was like, "Oh, we get," because granted, it was like 11:45.
You're one of those
when I
motherfuckers.
yeah, who walked in 15 minutes before close. And he's like, "Oh no, we get our suitcase, like we get our stock shipments daily, so we'll have more tomorrow." I was like, "Dude, our flight leaves. Like we have to leave at 5:30 in the morning, please." He was like, "I'm sorry, like we sold out for the day." And I was like, "You're a suitcase store. Like, don't tell me that you don't have a single suitcase in the back." I was like, "I don't care what color it is. I don't care what size it is." I was like, "Preferably it's a larger size," and what do you know? He comes out with the exact suitcase I was asking for. And it's like, was that hard? Like, I have a card in hand ready. Like, I'm not trying to get you to sell me, show me a bunch of things. Like, I know what I want. And I just.
So he ends up getting it, coming back. And then I am like feasting in the room service.
Yeah, I walk in and there's like 2 meals. And
And I had a really hard time sleeping too because I couldn't, garden. Yeah. So it was rough. And then we got up, we went to the airport. Everything went very smoothly. It wasn't nothing much to write home about other than the fact that Tyler, we finally found the Dubai chocolate that everyone talks about. Finally.
I need to check on that.
Yeah. And Tyler fucking leaves it on our first flight. And then he ordered us new ones. So it's fine. And then what else?
It's just really expensive here.
I got 2 bags that I really like and love. And they were cheaper because Dubai. And then, we got home. And then the next morning I had to fucking work. I got home at like 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to work the next day because my boss is a fucking bitch. Didn't give me the day off. And then I've just been go since then. And that's the end of the Dubai story.
We love you guys.
We love you. And we'll see you next week. We're going to have John, the CEO and founder of Factor 5 on. And we're really excited. Love you.
Love you. Bye.